Are you here to improve your investment strategies? Are you looking for that one article that could help you finalize that decision you were holding off? Well then, get ready to learn more and gain just that subtle extra knowledge to get an edge in the investment business. Because if you're new here, then you've come to the right place. Welcome to The Daily Fortune, a channel where we talk about all the latest news, updates, guides, and strategies related to investment. Of course, with that said, we're going to be discussing a lot about the Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett, The Big Short, Michael Burry, the money tree Cathie Woods, Tesla's very own CEO and eccentric billionaire Elon Musk, along with the rest of the big leagues to learn just a bit more from the professionals. And don't worry, of course we talk about crypto, and we also talk about the best stocks to invest in, along with many tips and tricks on how to handle your finances so you never lose. So before we talk about making money, remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell as well to make sure you won't miss a single video. Now let's get started.
We're short Tesla via outright stock, and we own long-dated puts and some short-dated puts. And it's a seven-figure dollar amount of stock that we're short.
Look, everybody has a pain threshold, and when a stock becomes unmoored from valuation because it has certain dynamic growth aspects to it and has cult-like aspects to it, you have to just walk away.
How long have you been short Tesla?
So we've been short it 4 years.
We are still basically maximum short Tesla. It's still one of my favorite positions.
Tesla is one of, many things we have in what we call our bubble basket of stocks that we just think are mispriced, and they're mispriced by huge, huge amounts.
I want to talk about one of your most famous calls, which is Tesla. You've been publicly short since fall of 2015.
Tesla short sellers used to be very vocal investors backed by a number of high-profile investors. Jim Chanos and David Einhorn are two of the investors depicted in The Big Short and are all billionaire investors. Tesla short sellers appear to have vanished following Tesla's remarkable increase from around $36 per share to over $1,200 today. The years of conflict between short sellers and Elon Musk were the world's longest and most unprofitable shorts. So where are the short sellers now? What happened to all of them? In this video, we'll talk about the stories of each short seller and take note that these Tesla short sellers aren't simply a bunch of unlucky fund managers. They're a group of influential men who nearly brought Tesla down. So without further ado, let's get into it.
These are the apex predators of Wall Street. They are in the business of shorting companies to destroy them. I mean, that is their business model. And they are not academic traders, who are just speculating on outcome. They engineer the outcome.
The conflict between Elon Musk and Tesla short sellers is a personal one. Short sellers, in Elon Musk's words, are value destroyers who should be banned. With that said, we first must discuss David Einhorn, the most well-known short seller of them all. Einhorn began shorting Tesla stock in 2016. Referring to Musk as a promotional CEO. At the start of 2016, David Einhorn's assets under management, or AUM, were more than $15 billion. That's obviously a significant sum of money, and for good reason. Einhorn has a great track record, with a track record of outperforming the market. Einhorn had no idea that the beginning of his Tesla shorts would mark the end of his career. Einhorn made his excellent prediction at CNBC's Sun conference in 2019 that Tesla would fail. He believed Elon Musk was going to make a mistake. After Einhorn accused Musk of significant fraud a few months later, Elon had had enough and fired back at him. Elon even referred to him as Mr. Unicorn, according to his letter. In this letter, Musk went on to highlight Tesla's recent developments before giving a tour of the company's facilities and a few short talks. Regarding true Elon Musk, he concluded the letter, following Tesla's spectacular rise, Einhorn revealed that his Tesla short position was his largest loser in 2020. In 2020, the value of Tesla stock soared by about 8 times, plainly affecting Einhorn's fund. What's worse is, Einhorn's career is likely to come to an end with Tesla's recent upward trend. In the most recent SEC report, Einhorn's assets under control had decreased to $1.5 billion, and is much lower right now. Remember that he started with $15 billion in 2016. Thus, his current AUM is less than a tenth of what he had when he initially shorted Tesla. For the second short seller, here's a hedge fund manager named Jim Chanos, who's also a well-known short seller of Tesla stock. Chanos rise to fame by shorting Enron. one of the largest corporate frauds in history. Chanos was handling almost $7 billion following the 2008 recession, when everything collapsed. Unfortunately for Chanos, his performance in the following decade was awful. Chanos declared in 2015 that he was shorting Tesla stock due to the company's valuation. By 2018, Chanos had only $2 billion under management, a considerable decrease from his former $7 billion AUM. Chanos' fund continued to plummet while the stock market rose. His fund has only $932 million at the end of 2019. Chanos previously profited on 2/3 of his short positions, but this has now decreased to 1/3%.
I mean, we're right on about 2/3 of our positions, sometimes as high as 70%. And I would say that the opposite has happened now. I haven't looked at it recently, but I'd say maybe we've been right on about 1/3 of our positions. And wrong on 2/3.
Tesla's rapid rise was the final nail in Chanos' coffin. Chanos declared in the midst of the pandemic that he was still maximum short on Tesla. Tesla's stock was down at the time, but we all know how that ended up.
We are still basically maximum short Tesla. It's still one of my favorite positions.
Chanos' bold statement backfired. By the end of 2020, the value of Tesla's stock had increased by over 5 times. Chanos is using this massive increase to close a large amount of his short position. He was no longer max short on Tesla by December 2020.
No, we're not max short, only because but we are still short. But there's now so many other things to do, including in the EV space, that we found lots of other things that are maybe even crazier than Tesla.
Chanos' assets under management dropped to just $405 million by the end of 2020. That's a huge decline from his prior AUM of $7 billion. Chanos was losing too much money from his Tesla short position by the beginning of 2021, and he was likely losing more money than he had initially invested. Chanos said in January 2021 that he was replacing a short position with Tesla put options. Despite the fact that Tesla's stock has continued to grow, Jim Chanos continues to own Tesla put options. Chanos' fund, Kynekos Associates, has become so large that he no longer needs to file SEC reports. Tesla marked the end of Chanos' career. He once stated that the results will be reflected in the stock price over time.
And the results will always will out, right? Either the shorts or the longs are going to be right about something. And the stock will reflect that over time.
Jim Chanos is renowned as the legendary short seller, but 2 other investors are also in the race. Steve Eisman and Michael Burry are 2 of those investors. Both of them are depicted in the film The Big Short, in which the 2 investors made millions of dollars during the 2008 financial crisis. Shorting Tesla stock didn't work out well for both of them. Steve Eisman originally revealed his Tesla short in July of 2018. Tesla's stock has reached new highs in February 2020. Eisman said he was covering a short position. Eisman said that everybody has a pain threshold, and when a stock becomes unmoored from valuation because it has a certain dynamic growth aspect to it and it has cult-like aspects, you just have to walk away.
Steve, let me cut to the chase. Are you still short Tesla?
I covered a while ago.
How did you cover? What was the decision tree to make that decision?
Look, everybody has a pain threshold, and when a stock becomes unmoored from valuation because it has certain dynamic growth aspects to it and has cult-like aspects to it, you have to just walk away.
Michael Burry, on the other hand, also tried out shorting Tesla, but failed terribly. In a tweet he posted in December 2020, he said, "Yes, I'm shorting Tesla for an extended swing trade. How does this shock anyone? It's gone way too parabolic. It's majorly overhyped at the moment. In 10 years, it will be huge. But right now, it's due for a major correction to the downside." Burry believed Tesla was a fantastic company, but he disagreed with Tesla's valuations. Michael Burry purchased put options covering $730 million in Tesla stock. His position, like that of every other Tesla short seller, did not pan out. Burry announced that he has covered his Tesla short position when the shares surged to around $840 per share. When CNBC emailed him to inquire if he still had Tesla put options, Burry answered this by saying, "No, it was just a trade. Media really inflated the value of these things. I was never short tens or hundreds of million of any of these things through options. The options bets were extremely asymmetric, and the media was off by orders of magnitude." Michael Burry most likely bought put options that were out of the money, meaning the strike price was lower than the current price. This suggests he did not invest the tens of millions of dollars he stated. Burry most likely lost a large amount of his money when he shorted Tesla Tesla at around $600 to $800 per share. You've seen countless billionaires make huge sums of money by shorting Tesla time and time again, but they usually stay in good financial shape. But Mark Spiegel, who's also a short seller, cannot afford to lose millions of dollars. In July 2013, Mark Spiegel initially announced his Tesla short. By 2018, Spiegel had revealed publicly that he was short $7 million in Tesla stock through put options through Stanfill Capital. It's hard to see someone shorting Tesla for more than 8 years, but that's precisely what Spiegel did. One of the key reasons for his persistence was that other Tesla short sellers are continuously confirming his thoughts.
So the name of this presentation is Tesla is still a zero. Now I know Tesla longs think it's all about the future, and by the way, I'm sure there are zero Tesla longs in this room because this is a short-selling conference.
Spiegel even confessed at the start of 2020 that he was terrible at predicting the future of Tesla stock. He told the NPR, "We've lost a lot of money. Tesla was at 20% of the fund, sometimes a third of the fund, and I slashed it back today because stock price is just too decoupled from reality. I am the world's worst predictor of Tesla's stock price." So Spiegel is still shorting the stock today. He has lost millions of dollars from Tesla already. Tesla once dragged his entire money down. Despite this, he continues to recover his losses, given his target price of $30 per Tesla stock.
We've been short Tesla a hell of a lot longer than I ever thought I'd have to be short Tesla. We've been short it really since 2014 in reasonable size. I put on a tiny position in 2013, but it wasn't meaningful. So yeah, we've been short Tesla. And it's hurt us because I had a lot of stocks that made a lot of money last year, but overall the fund was down a little bit last year, entirely due to the Tesla short.
After Tesla's recent spike, Spiegel's clients have lost even more money. He revealed in August 2021 that he was shorting the most Tesla stock in his fund's history.
Right now, we're about as short in terms of size and largeness of size as a percentage of AUM as we've ever been. I mean, I got us that way really last week, and I know this thing is about to collapse, and I felt it for a while, but when I'm wrong, I just stop it out and put it on a little bit higher, and that's what I've been doing to sort of control the risk and be there when it finally happens.
Despite his dislike for Tesla, Spiegel has a new bet that he believes will pay off. This is the bet for a short position against ARK Invest.
I just look at ARK as sort of the poster child for this bubble market, and it's just the easiest for me sort of one-stop shorting for, last I looked, 49 bubble stocks. And rather than getting involved with each one and putting on a 1 or 2% position on each one, I just put on a large ARK position. Cathie Wood is a joke.
Mark Spiegel's claim that Cathie was a joke is amusing given that his fund has underperformed the market by nearly 200% since 2011. Even when Cathie's stocks are in a bubble, it's impossible to look down on any fund manager. Maybe it's safe to conclude that if Tesla stock stays at its current level or rises to new highs, Spiegel will be out of business quickly. And for the final short seller that isn't really a short seller because he most likely has no stake in the game, it's Gordon Johnson, the CEO and founder of GLJ Research, and he is the biggest financial joke in modern history. Here are some of the clips that summarize what Gordon always has to say.
In a nutshell, Tesla is essentially a busted growth story.
Essentially, we see Tesla as a busted growth story. Essentially, it's pretty simple. We see Tesla as a busted growth story. It's a busted growth story. That is effectively a busted growth story. It's a fact that it's a busted growth story. Essentially, and again, it's a busted growth story, and they don't have any technological...
Gordon is criticizing Tesla, which sells us research through GLJ Research, which he has established. Gordon was fired from Vertical Group prior to GLJ Research for repeatedly being wrong about Tesla. According to TipRanks, Gordon is ranked 7,547 out of 7,727, putting him in the worst 3% of all analysts. Elon Musk can, however, take down many fund managers with Tesla. Shorting Tesla has ruined the careers of billionaires like Chanos and Einhorn. Even the two huge short legends, Einsman and Burry, were unable to benefit from Tesla's short stock. Whatever thoughts you have for Tesla's valuations, shorting the company is a terrible idea. Let me know your opinion on Tesla short sellers by sharing it in the comment section below. Will they be able to recover their losses? What do you think? And so there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. So that's it for today. I hope you learned something from today's video. And to get updated with the next videos, don't forget to hit the notification bell. See you next time.